Born to be wild.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Born to be Wild. Today we are doing our United in Stormwind set review from a wild perspective. We just wrapped up Warlock and we are now on Warrior.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, first up we have Harborscamp. This is a 2-mana 2/2 pirate. Battlecry, draw a pirate. I absolutely love this card. I think I've been playing a ton of Pirate Warriors the last 2 months, and one of the challenging things in the deck is like you want to draw cards. You need the card advantage. You want to draw cards. So drawing a pirate seems really good to me. Like the stats kind of, it's vanilla stats, but the Battlecry of draw a pirate is really nice. Because you want to keep this train going of just constant damage. And so I like it. And it sucks when you're just top decking. And so that is why we play, Outrider's Axe. That's why we play the Ankar, is to get more cards, get more pirates. And so this thing, I think this card is pretty awesome. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I really like this card too. Pirates that draw pirates and are cheap seems really good. Pirate Warrior's really tight as it is. I'm not sure what kind of gets cut for this, but I think something does.
Yeah.
Maybe not in all builds, and it may, your mileage may vary, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's common. And if someone's coming in with this set, they can absolutely jam this in Pirate Warrior and feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So, really good card.
I like it. I have some ideas. I want to play around with it. I think I don't love the 2/1 reduce the cost of your weapon, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
1 mana is great, but I don't love the card. So we'll see. I'll definitely be experimenting with this, but I scored it as a 4. I think this card is really good.
Yeah, I scored it as a 4 as well. Even if it's not specifically in all builds, it will be one of the meta builds, which is a 4 for us.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Next up, we have Heavy Plate. This is a 3-mana common spell. It is tradable. It says gain 8 armor. So my initial thought was okay, well, maybe we put this in Odd Warrior. That's a lot of armor to gain, and so it couples well with the stuff that deal damage equal to your armor. I mean, it's kind of a do nothing card, but that's kind of Odd Warrior, right? So, and the tradable is good. Odd Warrior is kind of at a funky place right now in the meta. It's real slow, and it's kind of So, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It might not be bad. We might play this over, what is it? The 3-mana gain 5 and draw a card, whatever it's called.
Shield block.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we swap it out. I don't know. The tradable makes it cool. But at the same time, I don't love it. So whatever. The art is hilarious. So you've got the little gnome in the giant armor and he can't move, and he's it
so
takes up his whole body. It's really funny.
Yeah, I think Heavy Plate is probably a meta read.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm playing Odd Warrior and I'm running into or in a tournament where I'm expecting control, yeah, I want to run Heavy Plate over Shield Block because I don't want to draw. Fatigue is how I win. Gaining additional armor, good. But if I'm against aggro or combo, I want to actually draw with the mana and do something besides just gain 8 armor. So Shield Block would be better in that perspective.
Yeah.
And I think generally on ladder, Shield Block will be better. But Heavy Plate is also good, especially since it's tradable. So I can kind of switch it out. If, I need to be more proactive now. In the early game, I can, kind of toss it without, I can essentially get a draw without drawing, which is what you want to do in a control mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So it has its place. that place is not the ladder for the most part.
I gave it a 2. It feels very fringe to me. It doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel like something that's going to be meta either.
I gave it a 2 as well, because we won't see it on ladder.
All right. Next up, we have Stormwind Freebooter. This is a 3-mana 3/3 pirate with a battle cry. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. This is interesting. I'm thinking about Pirate Warrior, and my question is, like, does this fit in or not? And we were talking about earlier, like, the list is pretty tight right now. And so what I had asked myself is, does this swap out for, what is it called? Bloodsail Cultist. It's the 3-mana 3/4 that gives your weapon +1/+1. And, like, I don't know, because that card is good with the weapons, but I like that this doesn't require you to have a weapon to play. And so where I find myself sometimes, okay, do I play Bloodsail Cultist for tempo just because, like, I need a 3-drop and I don't want to just be saving cards? Or, you know, do I want to have a weapon equipped and try to set that all up? Where this is like, hey, I could just play it and attack for 2. And I don't dislike that. So I want to kind of test it. I don't know if it replaces that card or not. So yeah, you know, I don't know. I definitely want to try it though. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah, it's much less conditional than Bloodsail Corsair, but if you need the value of the Ankar ticks or you know, the draws with the weapon, it could very well be less impactful than the Bloodsail Cultist itself. I think that's the kind of slot that it may or may not take. Before kind of hearing you talk about it, I had rated it a little bit lower. But that makes a lot of sense. Like, being able to just, like, lay on curve and not, you know, worrying about the value of it seems like something Pirate Warrior would probably want to do. Let's be real. You would probably drop the Cultist on 3 even if you wouldn't get value.
Yep. Yep.
But this way you get value and you don't have to worry about it, right? Like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It keeps it from being a value loss rather than making you make the decision of holding on to it for value, which would be a poor choice, or playing it as just a 3-mana 3/4. And the +2 attack this turn is valuable as Pirate Warrior. You want to be swinging with face.
Yeah. I gave it a 3. I think that it's playable in Wild. I want to test it, and I don't know if it's worth swapping out or not. Like, if it was a 3-mana 3/4, I'd absolutely run it over the other one. But, like, that being said, like, okay, if Pirate Warrior is coming back to Standard, like, this absolutely goes in that.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, I think I'm going to try it, though. I give it a 3. What about you?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3 as well. We may end up going back to the Cultist, but we might not. So a 3 might actually be conservative.
It may be. Yeah, maybe, for sure. Okay, next up is a spell called Shiver Their Timbers. This is a 1-mana, right, a 1-mana rare spell. It says deal 2 damage to a minion. If you control a pirate, deal 5 instead. You know, this card does not go face, and that is a problem. It feels like a rogue card masquerading as a warrior card, and you know, the theme of it is super cool. But, like, I can't cut anything to put this, really. And if it went face, all right, we'll think about it. It's like kill command for pirates. Like, it's pretty rad, but it doesn't, it's minions only. And so I'm not playing this, like, just flat out. Nope. Not even going to consider it. So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a standard card. They, you know, need more cards to put into their pirate package. This is something that synergizes with pirates and can get rid of a taunt to go face. We have more effective ways of doing that, like with our own face.
Right.
Or, you know, with different minions, because we have a lot more pirates. So this is to help standard, but yeah, we don't really need it here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I give it a 1.
Same.
Cool. All right. What a shame, but that's all right. Okay, next up is called Cargo Guard. This is a 3-mana 2/4 pirate that says at the end of your turn, gain 3 armor. This is like, are you sure it's a pirate? Because that's not what pirates do. This should be like a gnome or something. Like, okay, whatever. I think that this might go in Odd Warrior. Like, okay, 3-mana 2/4, gain 3 armor each turn is not bad for Armor Warrior, like for Odd Warrior if it lives. Like, okay, at the very minimum, this gives me 3 armor and a body. Like, it's not bad. It's at the end of my turn, so it's not like I play this and get the immediate impact and I can shield slam or something, but like, it doesn't feel bad either. I'm definitely not putting it in any sort of Pirate Warrior, but, you know, I was confused when I read this because the art doesn't match what the card does. It was...
Yeah, he's guiding the booty, and the booty in this art happens to be the armor. He's guarding the cargo. The cargo is, like Stormwind armor, I guess. um, for Odd Warrior, so it's a 3-mana 2/4 that gains 3 armor, and people then your opponent then needs to actually try and worry about this. Doesn't seem bad, but I think Odd Warrior has more effective ways of gaining armor and better ways to deal with the opposing board. It does have the immediate impact of gaining 3 armor. Your opponent does want to deal with it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it makes the cut in an Odd Warrior for me. That said, if you jam it in there and it works, cool. I would love to be wrong, but I don't see it personally.
Yeah. I gave it a 2. I think it has, it's a maybe card for me. But like, it doesn't seem bad, but at the same time, like, I'm not impressed with it either.
And I gave it a 1 because we don't want to be doing this in Pirate Warrior, and I don't think it makes the cut a nod.
Nope. All right. Next up is Cowardly Grunt. This is a 6-mana 6/2 with a Death Rattle. Summon a minion from your deck. Yeah, wow, this card just sucks. I think it costs a lot for what it does. Like, if it had Rush, I'd play it. Because I've seen people like Labore do some pretty amazing things with like Big Warrior, and like, hey, cool. Like, if this pulls out a Rattlegore or a Lich King or a you name it, like, okay, but it has no immediate impact on the board. Like, if it had Rush or Taunt or something, but it doesn't, and it's so easy to kill. Like, it's like this close to being a Magma Rager with a Death Rattle, but like
a 6-cost Magma Rage.
I mean, okay, so maybe it goes in Recruit Warrior or Big Warrior or whatever you want to call it, like if this pulls something. But even then, as a Death Rattle, like, it has to pull a specific card that has an immediate impact. And so, like, okay, Scrapyard Colossus, or something that is gonna do something, but otherwise it just feels like a giant tempo loss to me.
Yeah, the extent of my notes for this one were, nah, I'm good again.
Yeah, I just like, it seems really slow with terrible stats. I gave it a 1.
Same.
All right, easy peasy. Let's just move on. The next card up is Provoke. This is a 0-mana epic spell that says tradable. Choose a friendly minion. Enemy minions attack it. So my initial thought was like, wow, oh my god, Warrior got a 0-mana Hysteria, like targeted Hysteria, and it has to go in the right deck. Like, I'm not playing this in Pirate Warrior or anything, but if I'm playing this in like Recruit Warrior or something like that, where I've got a Rattlegore, I've got a Scrapyard Colossus or some big minion, and I can use this to clear like the entire opponent's board potentially for 0, like, okay, this has some crazy potential. Like, it's got to go in the right deck.
Yeah,
but in the right deck, this card is nuts.
Oh yeah. And the right deck, I think, is kind of the hard part about this, right?
Yeah.
Like, if this was a 1 cost, then you could expand the amount of right decks by including Odd Warrior in that. Um, that's not to complain about it being 0 mana, right? Let's be real. That's a feature, not a bug. So it's definitely got a place. That place isn't a particularly impactful portion of the meta, but this may help it be more impactful. It's a great card. It just is a little bit more fringe at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I gave it a 4, dude. I think that it's just it feels so strong to me. That being said, like it's gonna be really difficult to figure out where to play it, but like I really like it a lot. I really like it a lot.
And I'm going with a 3, or sorry, with a 2, because I think it's fringe.
For sure, for sure.
By definition, that's.
Oh yeah, I think that's smart. I think you're probably right. But anyways, okay. Next up is remote controlled Golem. This is a 4 mana 3/6 mech. It says after this takes damage, shuffle 2 Golem parts into your deck. When drawn, summon a 2/1 mech. Yeah, this card is really interesting to me. I like what it does. I like that the stats. I like that it's a mech. I like that it's not frenzy, so this effect can happen multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems good. I struggle with like, okay, where do I put it? Like if it was odd, I'd jam it into Odd Warrior for sure. It can go in like a menagerie build, I suppose, which is especially in standard is probably pretty good. Like the card itself seems, I like it. I just don't really have a home for it.
The downside to a menagerie build for this is that the damaged golems that it poops out are also mechs. So while you would initially have a really strong mech in the pool for N'Zoth, then it gets diluted with the effect with the damaged golems, unfortunately. Like you, though, I think it's really strong. I just wish that it had like taunt or something like that. The effect is dope. Shuffling things into your deck that then whenever you draw them give you more board is awesome. I will love discovering this off of Dr. Boom whenever I'm playing Odd Warrior. But whenever I've played Dr. Boom, this also has Rush, which helps.
Yeah. I thought about that too with Dr. Boom. Like, if this is really good, okay, cool. Then there's an immediate impact because it's got Rush, and my little 2/1s have Rush.
I think this is meant to combo with Provoke, the card that we just showed. Because, hey, you've got this really wide board. Oh, look, I killed your board, and we shuffled a ton of these cast when drawn golem parts into my deck so that I will be the one who has the board before too long, which is kind of clever, but probably a little too slow for what we want to do in Wild, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree, and I could see it in like standard hand buff warrior or something like that, where it's like, yeah, okay. The card feels strong, but it doesn't have a home, and so I give it a 2. Like, good card, no home.
Yeah, I gave it a 1, and I feel bad about it because I like the card, but in Wild it just doesn't have an impact. I don't know. I feel bad about the 1, but I'm sticking by it.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. Next up, we have the legendary side quest for warrior. It's called Raid the Docks. So 1 mana legendary spell, quest line, play 3 pirates, reward, draw a weapon. So the next part of this is called Create a Distraction. Quest line, play 2 pirates, reward, deal 2 damage to a random enemy twice. Okay. And then the final part is secure the supplies. Questline, play 2 pirates, reward Captain Rokara. Captain Rokara, of course, is a 5 mana 7/7 battle cry. Summon the Juggernaut. And the Juggernaut is, it says start of your turn, summon a pirate, equip a warrior weapon, and fire 2 cannons that deal 2 damage. Like, holy crap. Okay. And this Juggernaut, like, I don't believe it's a... I don't think it's a minion, right? I didn't see a token. No. So this is just like, okay. Summon a pirate, equip a warrior weapon, and fire 2 cannons every turn.
It's kind of like the imp one for whenever you discard enough things for warlock. So it'll take up a space on board, but even if like brawl happens or anything, it just kind of stays there. It's kind of like dormant. Mm-hmm.
So my question for this is, are you summoning a pirate from your deck, equipping a weapon from your deck, or is it just random pirate, random weapon?
The latter. Random pirate, random weapon, random 2 damage.
Okay.
That's worse. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
But
this is my favorite card of the entire set. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's necessarily that good in Wild. In Standard, it's gonna be pretty nutty, I think. I remember Cora saying that like this was her favorite card, and now that I see this, I'm like, oh, I can play 3 pirates. Can you in Wild? Okay. First off, I'm gonna have everyone tell me that this is a mistake and I'm too bad, right? But because we always hard mull for a 1-drop because you can't let go of the board and you want to be super aggressive. But like, okay, how easy is it to play 3 pirates? So if say I play this on 1, and this is probably a mistake, but just bear with me for a second. Mm-hmm. On turn 2, I play a pirate, and then Patches shoots out, and then I drop a parachute brigand. Like, okay, cool. I just completed part 1.
So since it's play 3 pirates rather than summon,
not count?
You have to play them. Yeah. Play means you have to pay the mana, even if it's 0. Whereas the summon, like Patches and the parachute brigand, don't count towards the played count.
You're ruining my dreams.
I'm sorry.
I think that I think that this is going to be too slow and Wild, and I'm really sad about that because it's so cool. Am I going to try it anyways? Yes, I am. And I do think that it's relatively easy to complete these quests. But, typically, like, in Pirate Warrior, I'm winning the game by, like, turn 5, turn 6. And so that would typically be before I've completed all of this stuff. And so, I don't know. Like, it's awfully cool, though. I want to see the Juggernaut in action. And I don't know, man. The flavor is just so rad. It's so cool.
It really is.
What are your thoughts on this?
I want to do it. Like, I don't know that it's the most competitive thing, but it's cool.
It's really cool. It's so cool.
And it's easy to do. Like the ask is something that I want to be doing anyway. Like if I'm running Pirate Warrior, I'm going to be playing pirates. And they gave us a way to tutor pirates with the new 2-drop pirate. Mm-hmm. And after we've played 3 pirates, we can draw a weapon. If the only weapon we're putting in our deck in this one is Ankar, then boom, there's more pirates that we're drawing.
Right.
I mean, at that point, we can't run the Outrider's Axe, but oh no. So I think it'll be playable.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be particularly meta or particularly like hyper competitive because, Wild is faster. But I think it's going to be super playable. And once the Juggernaut is on board, the fact that it's start of the turn is both a mixed blessing and curse, right? Because that means that your opponent is not going to get a chance to trade into your pirate quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it also means that you're not going to be able to attack with it quite yet because it's at the start of your turn.
Yeah, and there's some bad pirates.
There's some bad pirates, but
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. Well, if we want to play this what if, okay, what if I got like ship's cannon on board already, or the 3/5, whatever it's called, the sky barge, and then this thing like dumps out a couple pirates, and I'm like, poof, poof, poof. It's just fun. It's just fun. Like, I don't know that it's necessarily going to be good, but like once you play this, also like this is probably a force to be reckoned with. It's like, oh crap, every turn it's going to be doing this.
Yep.
It's like, well, you better kill me, otherwise I'm going to kill you, and the whole thing it's so cool. It's so cool. It's awfully slow. Rokara is a pirate, right? Yes. So
yes.
There's that.
Doing the Captain Morgan too.
Yeah, I know. It's so great. It's so great. I scored this a 3. I think that's probably fair. Like, it's definitely not busted, and honestly, it's probably too slow for Wild. The fun factor of it, and like, I see it as potentially viable. Like, there's a very good chance that it will be too slow, and I'm aware of that. And there is a very good chance that I'm going to play it anyways. So
exactly. And I also gave it a 3 because in our rating scale, a 3 is playable. I like, I don't think that it's going to be particularly the best way to build Pirate Warrior, but like, you can do it.
Yeah.
And you won't be punished too hard. You'll be punished, but not too hard.
Right. Okay, last card here for Warrior is Lothar. This is a legendary minion, 7 mana, 7/7. At the end of your turn, attack a random enemy minion. If it dies, gain +3/+3. Like, okay. So like, I guess this goes in like Recruit Warrior, Big Warrior, that type of archetype. I like the end of turn effects. But it's still a 7 mana 7/7, so it feels slow. But like, okay, if I play this with like some kind of recruit mechanic to pull it out, if this like gets dumped out on my board with Taunt and Divine Shield, I like that. If I summon a 10/10 copy of it, I like that. It feels awfully slow to me, but I like the build. I'm gonna I'll go bug Laborious on Grave. Like, hey, make an updated build and toss this guy in it, and let's see what happens. So
to me, and this is kind of what people are saying about Standard in particular as well. Lothar fits the same niche that Troublemaker fits.
It does, yeah, 100%.
And in Standard, Troublemaker is in like the Warrior deck, right?
That's true.
In Standard, they're not sure if Lothar is good enough to make room for.
Yeah.
And we have a lot deeper pockets to rifle through to find things to jam. Now, if you unpack Lothar and you want to play him, yeah, Recruit Warrior will work. Things like that. But if you're trying to like build and like do things to have the either most competitive or the most like fun way to go about it, Lothar is probably not the one that you would make even for Recruit Warrior, because you would probably run Troublemaker instead in this very same kind of niche.
Oh yeah.
It's not a bad card. It's not a poorly designed card. It just,
I know, I feel you. It fits the same spot that Troublemaker does, which is like a rare, I think. And
yeah.
So in my mind, this is a fun deck, and if I pack this card, like, I will try it. Would I suggest that people craft this? Like, no, don't do that. But if you open it, like, man, try it out. It might be fun. And typically even then,
Typically, whenever things like Troublemaker and Lothar are printed back to back, the legendary one gets printed first, and people are like, "Ooh, ah, whoa, cool!" And then they're like, "Hey, here's the rare that then you can throw into more things." They just got it backwards this time.
Yeah, yeah. So I gave it a 2. I feel like there's some fringe there, but like, yeah, I agree. Like, I would not craft this. You know,
Yeah,
it looks like he looks like a guy that I work with.
that's kind of cool. I gave him a. I
One. That's
originally
okay.
gave him a 1, but like I think you're right. Like if you've got it and you want to play it, I mean it's fringe playable. Like
Yeah,
it yeah. I'm gonna bump mine up to a 2. That makes sense.
cool. All right. Well, that's it for the warrior cards. We made pretty good time on those as well, and I think overall there's some fun cards there. This class was one of the more fun ones for me. I was kind of disappointed with the warlock, and so seeing some fun warrior cards was enjoyable for me. Yeah, and hey, rock and roll. We've been at it just about 10 hours. That's really crazy.
Oh wow.
I know I'm sitting here 9 hours 53 minutes. So we just have the neutrals left. So stay tuned for the final review, and we will be back momentarily.